Welcome to my channel. I am your girl Wendy. In today's video we are going to make a piano gift box, okay? So let's just go and get into it. Okay, so when you get your template, this template is a total of 12 pieces, okay? But you're going to print out only 9 pieces of the 12 pieces. So the first sheet you should actually have is this guide sheet, as this is your piano template sheet, okay? This is what you're going to be using to know exactly what size is what, okay? That is not counted in the 12 of them, okay? So now you have the bottom of the piano, you have the top of the piano, then you have the cut out window of the piano. So it's 3 pieces to that. Then you have the left side, then you have the right side, you have the piano backing, you have the front trim on the piano, you have the bottom front trim on the piano, you have the piano keys, and these last 2 pieces are reminder pieces, okay? These are the pieces that won't get cut out. So these will get cut out. This is a total of 9 sheets that you will print out and you will cut out, okay? With these here, the 3 that are left are a stick. The stick has to be 8 inches high. You can get your stick from Walmart for like, I think 49 cents or so. It has the green little coloring on the tip of it. 49, 69, I'm not really sure. You can cut this with your scissors, okay? But all you have to do is just measure this up against the stick. Your 9 inches up against it. Put a marking and cut your stick, okay? And that'll be one of the pieces to go over here with that, all right? Your other 2 pieces, you need a base piece for the bottom of your piano, and you need a trim piece for the backing of your piano. These are the pieces that we can't print this out. We have to actually measure this and cut this out ourselves, which is not hard at all, and I'm going to show you how, okay? Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead on and cut our back trim for the piano, and the back trim needs to be 1.5 in height and 23 inches in width, okay? So I got this chipboard from Hobby Lobby. They said it was chipboard. I usually get the little, the brownish type, beige type chipboard. But anyway, this one here will work because it has the flexibility that I need, so that is fine. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put our ruler up against the end of it, and we're going to go and measure out those measurements. So first things first, we're going to bump it up to the end, and we're going to measure out the 1.5, and then after we get that 1.5 where we want it, we're going to go on and just draw the line down, and we're going to go on and splice it and cut it with my scissors to give it a nice clean cut. All right, now that's not going to be big enough. Like I said, I need 23 in width, and this here is only 20, so I need to add 3 more inches to it. So I'm just going to cut out 3 more inches, and then we're going to get some masking tape, put it on there with a little bit of Mod Podge, and we're going to tape it together, and then there you have it. Okay. The only thing left that we have to do as a reminder is our bottom base for the piano box, okay? So I'm going to use, for the bottom base of the piano, I'm going to use some chipboard that's points is 80, okay? That means that's the thickness of it. It's a very thick chipboard, and so the chipboard comes in a 25 pack from Amazon. Of course, I'll make sure that I leave that information for you guys, but we're going to use that chipboard, okay? And what we're going to do, the height of the chipboard is a 10 by 12, okay? So with that being said, we know the height of our bottom base is 10, okay? So we don't have to cut the height. We're just going to have to cut the width, which is a 10.5. So that's what I'm doing here. So now it's time to just cut all your pieces out, okay? All the pieces that I just named, cut every one of them out, and then we're going to take them and then trace them on the chipboard. If you don't want to use that 80-point chipboard, you can always use cardboard. It's really your preference on what you choose to put in your piano gift box. So speaking of preference, here's another preference. So the top piece of your piano that you see me doing right here and cutting out, the bottom piece, they're the same. And then you have the cover piece. Okay. Now that cover piece has a window on it. You can actually take the cover piece and after you trace it out, and you can cut out that window part for it as well. Okay. So I'm not using the window on this one, but I did want to put it there for those who want to add a window to theirs. They can, okay? So I'm just giving you the example on how to actually do that. You just go on and cut that little part out and cut around the perimeter where you see the line on the cover piece. There's a little line where you would cut so you don't cut too much of that point off, okay? And then you'll just put it on here and you will trace around it, and then you're going to trace around it for the window. Again, I'm not doing that, so that's the only reason you don't see me actually cutting out the window on this chipboard. But I am utilizing the piece because it is a cover piece, okay? I'm just not putting the window part in it. I really hope that makes sense. And please make sure you clean up all the little edges and scragglies that might be hanging around your chipboard or cardboard if you're using cardboard. So first, take the bottom base of the piano, right? And then you get your keyboard piece and you place it on the part that is 1.5 inches wide, okay? Let the 10 inches high in height go upward, all right? Draw you a line across, and that is where you're going to actually place the keyboard, right there in that spot. You can even draw it, you can write it down, keyboard, okay? So that's that. So now take one of your top and your bottom piece of the piano, right? So what we need to do here is decide exactly what we want to decorate it with, okay? The colors and stuff. So this is where it gets fun and you can grab something that you like. So I'm going to grab the purple marble light look feel to it. And that's going to be for the top of the piano, okay? I'm just going to use some Mod Podge and spread it on there. And then I'm just going to put the design on top of it. And then we're just going to cut around it. So now I need to go ahead on and pull the front trim out. And so what I'm going to do here, I was just sizing it up to the pieces. Now I'm going to add some Mod Podge and put my preference color on that front trim, okay? And I'm going to glue it all down and make it look real nice and neat. Okay, and so now once I get that done, then it's time to move on to the bottom base of the piano. So we've already put our line there, okay? So now what we're going to do is size the paper up where we want it. Gonna add some Mod Podge there. Cover it really good with the Mod Podge. Then we're going to place the decorative paper of your choice behind the line of the bottom base because the keyboard is going to go in the front. So now we're going to just clean it up and cut all the extra paper off of it. Okay, so after that is done, we're going to go ahead on and grab the bottom of the piano, okay? We're not going to put any paper on this one right here, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to put it on that same line, okay? And we're going to put some hot glue on the back of it, and we're just going to press it into our bottom base piece right there, okay? Make sure that it's on real good. Just rub it down real good, okay? So once you've done that, we'll go ahead on and apply our keys, okay? We're going to go on and cover up that little space in the front with our keys to make it look more like a piano and cut off anything that's hanging over. Now we're going to overlap that piece with the front trim piece, okay? We're just going to add a strip of hot glue right there on the edge, right there in the front of the piano piece, okay? And then we're going to just lay that front piece, that front trim on the front of it and press it real good until it's on and it looks like it's not going to move, okay? Just like that. Then apply some hot glue to the back of it just to be on the safe side. It never hurts, okay? Now it's time to add that long piece, the backing piece that we were talking about. All right. Okay. So I like to put it on here and just measure it out a little bit, just making sure that I can get that curve in there the way I want to. So you see how I'm just folding it around? This is exactly how you're going to glue it on. Okay. But first we got to put our decorative paper on it. So go and find the decorative paper that you want to put on yours. and go ahead on and glue it on there. Now we know that the paper is not long enough to really cover the whole stick. So hopefully you got some decorative paper where you can line it up just right. So when you get to the end of that 12 by 12 sheet, then you can add another 12 by 12 sheet to it or whatever you have left over. I like using scraps if I have any left over before I use a new sheet. So I'm going to add the Mod Podge and continue moving on down the road, okay? And so then after I do that, rub it in real good, then I'm going to cut it out and we're going to put that baby on the perimeter of this piano. So start at the one end and do it as close as you can, okay? And what you're going to do is you're just going to add some hot glue to the rim of the piano and around that bottom piece, okay? Not the base piece, but the bottom piece, all right? The one that has the little curve in it. And you're going to wrap this all the way until you get around to the other side of it. And this right here, once you've done it, this is what you should have, okay? So now it's time for us to put that top part of the piano on. And all we're going to do is just glue that to the top of the rim. So we're going to try to tuck it on the inside a little bit. Now, if you're one of those people that's going to put something extremely heavy on your piano box, then I suggest you put some packing paper on the inside first and then put this top on it. But if you're not going to put nothing crazy heavy on it, then you could just glue the top down on it and it'd be just fine, okay? So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just going to glue the edges and I'm going to tuck it in the best that I can so it fits like a glove. And this is what you should have, okay? So let's move on. It's time to put the left and the right side on. So first thing you want to do is decide what you're going to cover yours with. So I decided to cover mine with the purple fabric that I have, okay? So I'm just going to cut around it really good and then cut around it up close as I possibly can on both of them. And then I'm going to glue them down to the left and the right side. So first I decided once I cut the fabric out that I needed to put the centerpiece in first. So I was going to go ahead on and use one of the color prints that I have here on it and then put the fabric over it on the other side. So you're going to see what I'm talking about in just a second. So I apply the Mod Podge and then I go in with the solid purple color that I wanted to have on the inner side, right? So I rub it in, then I just go ahead on and put that on and then I'm going to cut that out. So once that is cut out, then I'm going to go ahead on and proceed to put the fabric on and lay it down properly. This is when I realized I did not like what I was doing here, okay? I did finish it up through, but I did not like it at all. So when I put this up against it, I was like, no, this is not going to work. This is not cute. So what I decided to do instead was cut out the marble color and I'm going to place that on top of this purple right here because I just didn't like that. So once I traced out both pieces and cut it out and then placed it on the side of it, I realized that looked a whole lot better. So I decided to go in with both sides and do the same thing on both, okay? So I just cut out the marble. Now, the reason this part is sped up so fast, you guys, is because I wanted to make sure that you guys really seen the most important part. When it comes to decorating, that's really up to you and your preference on how you would like to decorate your box, your piano box, okay? So that's the only reason this part is sped up, okay? But the main part that you really need to know is the part that I go over in detail. Okay, now it's time to do the important part right here, and that is attach the piano to the sides, okay? So you're just going to bump your keyboard up to the front of the piano, okay? I'm trying to show you right here where you're just going to bump it right up there at the tip, all right? And when you do that, hold it in place, all right? And put some glue up under it. Now, what I did really was, if you look very closely, it's right there at the very edge. Once you bring your keyboard part to the front with the piano on it, you'll see it makes sense more than me just telling you. So I'm just going to show you. So I'm gluing little bits and pieces and holding it until I get the whole thing glued. So if you look at this, you see how the front is all the way to the front. And if you look at the back part of the board, it's all the way to the back, okay? That's how you know you got it on right, because it can't go any further. If it's hanging over, then it's not right, All right. And last but not least, I added another strip of glue to make sure that side stayed on. Okay. So you're going to do that same thing on the other side. So do the same method that you did on the first side to the second side. All right. You're going to bump the keyboard up to the front, stand it up on both of them just to make sure that you have it even. Okay. So you don't glue it on there wrong. Okay. And once you get the balance and you know that all four little legs are on the table, then flip it over and go ahead on and glue that side down the same way that you did the first side, making sure your front and your back is touching where it's supposed to touch. Your keyboard is touching the front and the backboard is touching the back. Okay. Now it's time to add the piano backing. Okay. So I decided I was going to do the solid purple on one side and then I'm going to do fabric on the other side. So that's what this is about. So I'm going to add the Mod Podge and go on and jazz this board up a little bit real quick. And then we're going to glue it to the back of this piano. So while waiting for the glue gun to heat up once again, I am cutting out the cover piece now. The one that has the window that I'm not going to put the window on. I'm putting the marble color on the top of it, okay? And I'm going to put the solid purple on the bottom of it, all right? So that's the color that I'm going to go with for that. And then we move on to the front bottom trim. We need to put that on the front of the piano as well. So I'm going to cover that with the marble color. And our 8-inch piano stick, I covered that with gold ribbon from Hobby Lobby, okay? I just wrapped it around it and glued it to it, okay? Now that the glue gun is ready to go, we're going to put the piano backing on the back, okay? So I am just putting it on the edge of the bottom, and then I'm also attaching some glue to the actual curved part right there. And I'm just doing one side at a time because, you know, it's kind of hard. Glue dries kind of fast. So, and then I'm just going to work my way on over to the other side. So once I get that glued on real good, I realized, you know, like I told y'all, I don't do straight lines and stuff, that I had it a little too high at the top. So what I did was I just took the scissors and trimmed it down so it'd be leveled at the top with the rest of the piano. Okay. And so that was really not an issue for me because I knew I wanted to trim it out, and I decided that I was going to trim it out with some gold trim. So I'm using that same gold ribbon trim that I used on the 8-inch stick for the piano in the first place. Okay. So we're going to take that gold trim and we're going to trim out the piano and all the raw edges or something. If there's anything I don't like, I will definitely be using that on there as well. This is another option that you can use. It's really up to you how you design your piano box. Coming together nicely. Now it's time to put the front bottom trim on, okay? And that's the part that I put the little marble color on. You're just gonna glue it on the front of the lip of where the keyboard is and the front of where the piano is, okay? And then I'm just going to finish it off with some more of the trim until I cover everything, all the raw edges that I see. So now to put the cover on, all you have to do is line it up to the part that's actually already hooked to the box. And then you put your two little markings on there. And then you get some of these, the clear hinges with the sticky on them, okay? And you can stick them on that little marking that you put on there. You put 1/2 of it on the lid itself, okay? This is the lid that you can cut out if you want to have a window. But like I said, I wasn't going to do that. You put the stickies on both of the hinges on that side, and then you bump it up to the other side of the piano and put the hinges on that part as well. I had to touch up the lace right there, the edge, because it was coming off. But now you'll see, all you have to do is take the red paper off the sticky part and stick it to the piano. And what I'm doing right here is I'm just gauging it to make sure that they're both even with each other. The one that I have sitting down there and the one that I'm actually putting on right now. And then you just attach it together just like that. It's really simple, y'all. It only seems hard the way I'm explaining it, but it's really simple. And you see how flexible it is to fold. Okay. And now I'm just going to take that 8-inch stick and I'm going to glue it to the top of that lid. And then I'm going to glue it to the base of the piano. And then I'm going to trim it out and it's going to be completely done. Okay, y'all, so this is the finished product, okay? So what I did was I added a hand cream right here, and then I added a candle, and I put some soap flowers on the inside, also with a lotion and some, what is this? Bath salt and a wash and the bath bomb, and then the little, shower tablet. I put that in there, and then I put this beautiful purple robe in the back of it. And I call myself trying to dress up the box as well. Now I will be putting something else down here, like on the face of this. Just I don't like it being plain like that. But tell me what y'all think. Is it something you guys would try? I just wanted it to be different and unique, and I think it is. It would be great for Mother's Day, or just a special occasion, or just show someone you love them, or you know, a music lover as well. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Anywho, if you're interested in a template, you know it's in my stand store. As always, I appreciate you watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I really look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye for now.